I see him.
Hello?
Oh.
I hear him.
There he is.
Hi.
Do you see us?
Yeah, y'all look fantastic.
Peace and love. You look fantastic too.
Thank
Here,
you.
let me pin your video so I don't see all these goofballs. Actually, can you pin him down, or do I need to do that?
You can pin it on your computer, or I can just do it for you.
Whoops. Here, I can do it. D'Angelo, let's go, D'Angelo.
Wait, can you bring
Hello,
it down?
hello, hello.
Yes. How are you, my dude?
I'm doing fine. Just, boring YouTube stuff. The website's acting super weird, so I couldn't get a video up today. So now I don't know what to do with myself.
Those YouTube dramas.
So, so first of all, D'Angelo did not appreciate being called a drama channel, and I
No,
understand.
that's not what I said.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a good point.
It wasn't
YouTube
Ela.
drama. You can't upload a video.
But he made a good point, Ela. He said we're as much drama as he is, and I agree.
Right.
You don't consider yourself a drama channel, right?
I don't know. I try not to be too touchy about it.
It's a
Honestly, the
derogatory.
content is what it is.
Right.
Yeah. I kind of learned to deal with the "it is what it is" approach.
Well,
'Cause at some point I thought we weren't drama, but we.
I was like, oh my
are.
God, we're drama channel.
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is.
Right? No, I just try to have fun.
So, okay, we have some. First of all, we're squashing our beef right now. Do you want
Of
to show?
course.
Do you want to maybe show your feet so we can get you on WikiFeed or no?
We would have to wait. I'm not like mentally there yet.
Oh, you're not.
We have to do it the right way. We can't halfway do it.
Okay. I just wanted to give you the
I want to
opportunity
smell feet.
because we have such a powerful WikiFoot bump that you'll probably be #2 on the website if you did that. But
That's iconic.
not to force you. I don't want to pressure you.
No, I know who to call now when we
Yeah,
get there.
yeah.
Probably won't be soon. Probably won't be too long.
Okay, good. That's nice to hear. Also I noticed, so you gave me your email. It was your manager's email. I feel like you big-timed me a little bit. Did you big-time me?
No. I try not to read emails. My manager takes care of all of that. Because my
awesome.
problem is when I scroll through my own email, I tend to say yes to everything. Which is not good because people come in with like the craziest offers. So instead, my manager just looks at all of that stuff and handles it. He's
He
like
does your emails. I love that.
way better at handling those kind of things. Because if you guys had left this to me, I would not be here right now. My time management skills are not on the same level as you guys. You have like a well-oiled machine.
Well, thank you very much.
We started 25 minutes late today.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
was it
that.
25?
Well, yeah, because it was 12:10
It wasn't 25.
plus 15.
Let's not bicker in front of D'Angelo. He thinks we have a well-oiled machine.
Take it.
All right. So, AB actually has beef. AB, do you want to?
Definitely.
Yeah. He says, AB, well, he wanted to defend himself a little bit, AB, if you want to maybe discuss that.
I said I'm a fan of D'Angelo. D'Angelo has the beef. He said he has a beef with me.
A beef.
A beef. Well, you know what? So, okay, this is stupid. Who cares? I want to talk about the Shane thing.
Same.
So the Shane thing was,
By the way, we loved watching your videos.
oh yeah, we went
Thank
on a
you for
marathon. I watched all three. I watched the Shane, I watched the Jeffrey, I watched the Tati.
Yeah.
I watched the Blair White, and I watched the.
Wait. Oh, you watched
You didn't watch the
without
Blair
me?
White. Yeah, I went on. Ela went to bed, and I kept
Well, yeah,
watching.
you stay up all night.
Yeah.
Passive aggressive. So okay, the Shane thing. Yeah, there's so much disturbing behavior in there.
It's really bizarre. Really.
It's true. So I knew a lot of it, but actually, your video had even more than what I knew about. Is Shane just like the chances are? I don't know anything about Shane, so I'm just going off the cuff here. But my take on Shane is that he's obviously a disturbed person who was probably traumatized as a child through some kind of abuse, which is probably the reason why he doesn't know how to tell what's appropriate way to interact and joke about sexual things. And that's how I see that.
Yeah.
And not to excuse his behavior, right, but that's how I see it. So I don't know. What's the solution with Shane, in your opinion? Can he ever come back to YouTube, or like what do we do? What? Tell me what to think about Shane.
It certainly raises a lot of questions in terms of when you have creators who don't set boundaries for themselves, but then they kind of get this giant platform, like whose job is it necessarily to set that boundary? Definitely not mine. Definitely not yours. We don't have the power. YouTube has done what it's done. They even did take some of their own action at one point, temporarily demonetizing him. But as far as whether or not he should come back, I mean, from a business standpoint, this is where he is, you know? Logically, I'm sure he'll be back at some point throughout the year. I mean, at that point, I won't have anything to do with it. But I think it raised a lot of questions about how much people are willing to put aside in order to watch, you know, their favorite creator, if you will. But as for like, where do we draw the line? I don't know. Because all I can do is really just draw attention to things. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't. I'm certainly no arbitrator, nor do I try to be.
Well, I have to say, I was super impressed with the quality of your video and the depth of research. I thought it was freaking phenomenal, and the way that you presented it was super good. So I do think the praise is warranted. I think the hype is warranted with D'Angelo Wallace, and I recommend that Shane video. You know, it was like I knew about like the weird sexualization with kids.
Yeah,
and
we've
stuff.
talked about a lot of it ourselves on our podcast a while ago, but still watching your whole video kind of put it in a deeper perspective, because you did have more than we knew of, and seeing it all together.
Well, dude, there was like the animal stuff. When I saw all that put together, I was like, holy smokes.
The animal stuff was really weird to me.
I'm one of the people, to be quite frank, that always believe that cat story. It's just way too detailed, bro. It's just way too detailed. And when he's telling that story, he's not kidding. I think he jizzed on his cat. Comments?
Certainly no more comments than I've given in that video. I mean, I try not to waste people's time. I definitely understand like the image that I'm putting forth on YouTube. A lot of it at first glance just seems very inflammatory, very long. So I figure if people per chance click into the videos, hopefully I'll give them something that's actually worth watching. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, this is my job. There is a certain way to do it in order to maximize clicks, but I don't think that means you have to waste people's time per se. So I try to structure my videos in a way where if you come, then you're getting the information, things that you can actually back up, and things are not just speculation. And so they certainly do take like a little longer to make. I certainly wind up being late to a lot of situations because of that, but it's the way I enjoy creating that sort of long form content.
Chat is saying the interview is going to end Frenemies. I disagree.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
They're saying this is going to end Frenemies?
That's what people are saying in the chat. I disagree.
Oh,
I
snap.
think that, look, the Shane topic is just really complicated.
Yeah. She's just...
Obviously we met him in person when we did the podcast. It was nice. It was never not nice to us. But all the stuff that are pointed out about him are definitely things worth talking about, because he does have a big platform. And I think if anything, it's really important that he gets to come to terms with his issues and work on them. I don't think anyone should be just canceled to oblivion and not be able to work on himself and see where things go, you know? I don't think that's a healthy approach for anyone.
Well, like I said, I speculate that it comes from a place of deep trauma in his own life. Yeah. I know he's hinted that he's been abused, right, as a child, but I don't think he's ever specifically said. So it's it is a tough situation, you know? Like, when you compare Shane to someone like, let's just say, Chris D'Elia, who also got canceled last year, like Shane, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I say something like Shane didn't necessarily, well, I guess it's not necessarily true. When I say Shane didn't really do, there was like victimless crimes, you know what I mean? But how would you say to that? If I said, well, Shane is just kind of perverted, but
it's more about like
didn't really
inappropriate stuff done on video, and I think it's like what you said, that he doesn't understand what's appropriate or not appropriate. And
well, would you say that Shane doesn't have any victims? Do you think that's a appropriate description?
from a legal standpoint, unlike a lot of other creators, there's certainly nothing there. And I even made sure to specify in that video, you know, I'm not accusing him of any crimes or anything like that. As far as people just being affected by what he was doing in a negative way, there are certainly people who have said that's their experience with that. I mean, it's not something I have experience with, but you would really have to ask the people, you know, saying that.
What's your story? You're like a smart, eloquent guy. Are you in college? Are you out of college? What's the deal with you?
Oh, I graduated in 2019 at Our Lady of the Lake University. It was a fun time.
Are you? Oh, people were trying to speculate if you're married or single.
Yeah.
I am not married. Not at the moment, anyway. Who knows? It's all subject to change.
Subject to change.
I think I graduated in 2018. I don't know why I just said 2019. I don't know where that came from.
But you were close.
I was going to get there eventually.
What did you major in?
Mass communication with a concentration in digital film and television production.
Perfection. That's awesome. So, how old are you? You grew up watching YouTube, I'm assuming you're of that age?
Yeah, I'm 22.
Yeah.
I grew up watching, I wouldn't say I grew up watching YouTube, but in my teens, that's definitely when I got super into it. I was introduced to all of these people. I was like, holy crap, you can upload videos to a website and this can be your job.
Yeah.
You can get rich from this kind of thing. A lot of your videos I was watching at that time as well. So it's all pretty exciting stuff.
So that Shane video was kind of like a big turning point. I remember you said you went from like 10,000 to 1 million subscribers in that 1 year. Is that right?
It was somewhere like, that was 2020, right? So it was somewhere along like 300K to 1.5 million or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, it was certainly a big jump. It definitely changed a lot of the way that I had to approach my videos in the future, because I think when you have, you know, when you don't have to answer to as many people, maybe you can get away with a few mistakes here and there. But now I really look at my content as like, if I'm putting this out and this many people can potentially be viewing it, I have to make sure that I'm not putting things out that I'm going to wind up regretting, or things that can be easily disproven, or anything like that. So I just think the main thing is it just motivates me to try even harder, I think, with my long form content. Now my shorter videos are just for fun. I definitely don't care about those as much. But yeah, that's the main thing I would say that changed.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're definitely a high quality content creator, man. There's not many people on YouTube these days that I can actually watch their, especially an hour-long video. So
I appreciate that.
So Jeffree Star is always.
Oh my God.
The Jeffree Star video was great. You know, I still don't know what to make of that guy, to be honest with you.
I definitely don't know, especially not with 2021 starting off with rumors of Jeffree Star and Kanye doing whatever the heck they were doing in those rumors. People were asking me for my take on that as well, too, because I guess I accidentally became the Jeffree Star guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, I don't fault you for asking, but in 2021, there's like a list of people who I'm working really hard to not give any mental space. And coincidentally, Jeffree Star and Kanye West are both very close to the top of that list. So when I saw them coincide, I was like, this is a sign.
I was surprised at Jeffree Star's background. I had no idea, because I feel like I didn't even know about him before, and I kind of just started to hear about him just like with all the makeup drama. So I only knew him as like the makeup person. But his background is pretty wild. It
is. He really came. It's sad that it's sad that the video wound up being what it is just because of his pattern of behavior. But beyond all of that, there really is like a rags to riches story. He's come very far while being himself, and I'm like, why can't that be your biggest attribute? But instead, we get all the crazy stuff that wound up in my video.
Yeah,
dude, the theory about him. Fake that big makeup heist that was like all over the news. It makes so much sense. Your theory,
right?
And it is just a theory. Just
pure speculation, of course.
Just to cover our asses here. But it makes so much sense. Like, why would anybody steal makeup and then try to sell stolen makeup? Like,
but also
there's literally no value to that.
like a heist from an action movie with
Right.
you come from the top with
Just to steal
ropes
some like
and
lip gloss or some
jump
shit.
through the laser beams.
So just to fill you
to
guys
be
in,
fair-
D'Angelo speculated that Jeffrey's whole. You guys might remember when it was huge in the news, all over this, everywhere, that he had like millions of dollars of makeup stolen. And the story was always a little bit fishy to me, but D'Angelo speculates that he faked it in order to hype up his next release, which was,
It would be crazy because I would never even consider that someone would do something like that.
well, it worked. I mean, also props to him. I do think it's definitely fraud. You can't just, can you just say that your shit was
don't-
stolen? I don't know.
I don't think you should be able to. I don't know.
It's weird that the media ate it up so much, but I also
It's something that I try to be careful of myself, because one of the things I realized is when you have enough followers, people will just take what you're saying as fact without looking into it themselves. And it's like, it's a double-edged sword, most certainly. On the one hand, I guess you could say that's a good thing, but on the other hand, I get scared sometimes because I even see myself like implying things in videos or me not being clear about things, and then people just running with it. And I can't then say, well, hey, you know, this is your fault for doing this. I have to recognize, oh, snap. I have a track record. I can see why people are just taking this at face value. So even at that, I understand why he would just say this happened in a video with no evidence.
right, and then it just
Because it
blows
makes
up.
more sense to believe that, I think, than to disbelieve that.
Yeah.
So I understand why it was like never questioned. But because when I was writing that video, I was already in the frame of mind of questioning like everything. And I wanted to back up everything. When I started running into what, in my opinion, was zero proof of this actually happening, I was like, oh my gosh, is there actually nothing here? And so I just left it very open-ended. I was like, of course I cannot prove that something did not happen. That's much more difficult to prove than something happening. But at the same time, I wanted to pose the question, like, how much can we really believe? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's crates of concealer somewhere, and we demand answers.
Right? No, but either way, the thing about that too is whether it was real or not, which of course we'll never have the answer, you cannot deny that the promo it caused was
Yeah.
far more than
And the
he could have
sympathy,
paid for.
yeah, for sure.
I remember I watched that whole video and I don't follow anything Jeffree Star.
Oh, it was like trending. It was
that
huge.
video was huge.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy? We have a Teddy Fresh release coming out next week, and like someone broke into our warehouse and stole like half of the shit. And I'm just saying to all the news outlets watching, it was crazy. They, like,
There was a shootout too.
there was a shootout.
Yeah.
Somebody died, but anyway, we got rid of the body. But the clothes are gone. That's the most important thing.
Teddy Fresh Capital Raid. I was there, by the way, live streaming it.
Oh, you were live streaming too?
The Teddy Fresh Capital Raid, yes, I took charge on that one.
Oh, okay. Well, D'Angelo, I'm looking forward to your next content. I will be watching it. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Thank you. I hope so. Yeah, it's going to be pretty great. Pretty great. And you guys, oh, wait. Okay, fun fact. If I can just throw out a little spoiler there. The video is about COVID-19, and you guys are actually heralded as a very positive example. Because
Yes, I knew I loved you. I love D'Angelo. I knew that this guy
Yes.
was the best creator on YouTube.
Yeah,
I
you guys
vote
are one of
you
the
the-
few channels who are always like testing. At the one point when some of your crew members got COVID, they were separated. You guys were just making sure everything's right through all the tests. And I'm like, okay, if the H3 can do it, nobody else has an excuse. Clearly, you can continue running a big show with a bunch of people. You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have to
Thank you
pretend like
for
COVID doesn't
saying
exist.
that.
Well, we moved our whole operation to our basement because we didn't want to be in a small space together. We've been in our freaking basement for like almost a year now.
I get frustrated with other people though who are not being safe and are not being honest with their
Dude,
followers.
I am so down to watch that video because there are so many creators that are just so fucking irresponsible. Have you seen the video of when Tanner Fox calls Logan Paul and Jake Paul?
No.
Oh, bro.
Oh wait, was it the one where he said I have COVID and then he's like, oh, I don't care?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't care. And then, so Jake Paul,
But
first
Logan
of all,
Paul
goes.
has a podcast with guests.
He
on.
sits right across from guests, and he.
Oh, man.
It's like literally Tanner calls Logan, and he goes, "I don't give a fuck, but thanks for letting me know." And then he
Like,
proceeds to
what the
do a
heck?
podcast with people in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the sound bites. I don't know if you can hear our sound bites. Go ahead.
I
Jack.
can. They're
Oh, man.
fantastic.
So that's Jake. Go ahead, play Jake.
I don't really give a fuck. But
That was
thanks for letting me
Logan.
know.
And then play the guy
embarrassing.
screaming in the background of the Jake call.
We don't care.
That was his friend in the background.
There's a Tana Mojo clip as well. That might be a great soundbite where her and her friend are like, "We don't effing care," and
Yeah.
they claim that it was not
yeah.
about
Zach,
the
do we have
pandemic.
that
but they were-
soundbite?
It wasn't clear enough audio because there was
We
much.
tried. We already tried.
Oh, it would have been
Been down
fantastic.
that road.
Now, D'Angelo, just if you want to sing my praises even more, I'm just going to let you. I'll just bring you in, maybe give you some intel. Back when COVID was starting to peak out, I made a whole podcast about it when people said I was being an alarmist and people were calling me a fearmonger.
Fearmonger, yeah.
That was
Oh,
back in
boy.
like February. And I just want to say that,
Kind of a global pandemic.
yeah, I just want to say I was right. Oh, what is
So
this?
how do you feel about frenemies?
How do I feel about frenemies?
He made a whole video about it.
I know, but now
No,
we gotta.
no, no. It's a good question. It's a good question. I was very clear in that video that I watch Frenemies.
Yeah.
I did not want to frame it as like, oh my gosh, this is so bad, and I don't take part
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
And I did watch your last episode as well. Let me just tell you, that was surreal. I started watching it as soon as it came out. So then we're only on episode 16, something like that. And now, like, I was featured in the beginning of it. So the journey from just like a listener to winding up as one of the topics was so funny. So I'll take what I can get. Half of the Frenemies podcast really likes me, so that works for me. We can bump it up to 100% later in the future.
Well,
Oh my god.
I do think that the clout transfer is complete. Although I have to say,
I
you did me
I would
kind of
agree.
dirty. You put my DMs in the thumbnail without telling me. That's a big no-no on YouTube.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I didn't just put them in the thumbnail. I opened them on stream.
That was crazy. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, I know it was all good, but I was like, you can't do that.
No, if it was anything that made you look any kind of bad, I would have just kept that to myself. But
Good,
you were
'cause
just
I
like,
sent
you
you
were so
real-
nice. I think that's what was throwing me off a bit because, I mean, I try to be even. You can't be even and be human, but I try to be even with all of my criticism. So I was grateful, I think, that you kind of saw down the middle of it. You know what I mean? Like I said about the podcast, I don't have 100% negative feelings about it. I really do believe all the things I said in the beginning too, about it being a more realistic portrayal of Trisha and about your friendship being real, even though a lot of people say it's fake, and just about how funny it is. So I was glad that didn't get lost in like the criticisms at the end. But I will say, like, multiple sound bites of Trisha Paytas saying "I hate D'Angelo Wallace" is kind of iconic. Like,
Yeah.
I can't lie, that's
Iconic,
kind of
for sure.
iconic.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, Trisha will never like you, I'm
Wow,
afraid. But,
thank you.
but on my side of the desk, we are stands.
Yay,
let me
I'll
just
take it.
I have no criticism of you.
Maybe you should. I try to be
As
open.
far
I try
as
to
of
be
right
open.
now, I have no criticism. But I'll tell you what, the moment I have one, you'll be damn sure to hear about it live.
Perfect.
What,
Perfect.
Dan? What'd you say?
Ask him about the James Charles hoodie.
What
Oh,
about
James Charles hoodie. So, oh yeah. So you said you never publicly defended me. So do you think James Charles ripped me off here and now, live on the H Street podcast? James Charles color block hoodie. Yes. Rip off. No.
Bro, you're asking me to sacrifice my James Charles Twitter follow? I'm gonna have to do some
Oh, he
clout
follows
computations. Is this worth it?
Hey, you spit the facts. That's it. That's your whole stick.
All right, here we go. Yes, either James or somebody on his design team. It was almost a 1-1 for
Thank
you guys'
you.
hoodie.
Thank you,
It was a 1-1.
D'Angelo. You heard it here. I knew that my faith in D'Angelo was not misplaced.
Oh my god, this is the tea.
But we want.
What?
No one tell him anything, so he keeps the phone.
Yeah, nobody send this clip to James
Right?
Charles.
He'll never know.
Sister.
Sister Snatch. All right, D'Angelo, I'll let you
All
go. Thank you
It
so
was
much.
Fun. It was fun.
Yeah,
Thank
it was
you.
a great time. We appreciate you. We think you're great.
Wow,
Everybody go
Sister
check out his
Snatch.
channel. And I'm really looking forward to that COVID video. It's going to be fantastic. Somebody needs to do
yeah.
that video. So,
January 31st. It's my
Nice.
one plug. I had to take it.
really, you're planning that? You're planning to be like, you have that specific of a deadline
Yeah,
that
that's
you're
pretty
going to hit?
impressive.
Oh, no, it's just like that's the latest possible time I can get it up contractually because there's a brand deal in it.
Oh, the brand deal. The brand
Yes.
deal.
Sister.
Okay. I know that.
Yeah, we know that.
All right, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you
right.
so much for having me.
All right. Take
Thank
care,
you.
D'Angelo.
Thanks,
God
D'Angelo.
bless.
All right, bye.
All right. Bye.